Hey, here we are again. So we're going to try some other stuff here and see if we can deduce what's happening here with the fuel delivery not being a thing and just keeping this car from not being on the road. So we've tried many things. We know the airlines or the fuel lines are clear. We know the filters are good. We know the fuel pump's new. I think maybe the eccentric on the crank there is maybe worn down or something and maybe just not pumping enough. Could be the sending unit's plugging up. We still have a new sending unit, but we haven't put that in yet. We're not going to bother with that yet. I want to still see if it's just the actual delivery system by trying this out. And yes, this is that famous pump that everybody's used at some point. That, it just, it's just nonstop. But for the price, it'll at least show us within, 3 to 7 pounds, 4 to 7 pounds of pressure if the fuel pump's just not actuating the way it should and work the way it should. So we throw this on, and hopefully we get fuel. If we get fuel and this thing runs, then at least we know everything's clear, and then that'll pretty much tell us that the gas tank is good and we don't need to replace it. So if this doesn't work or keep up with the demands of what it needs for fuel, then we'll probably still hang on to this and just run a switch to it in case, vapor lock-in issues, stuff like that later while it's 90 to 100 degrees here. Might just keep it as an auxiliary backup, mounted up back there, But in the meantime, we're just going to give this a shot and see if we can spare buying us a fuel tank. But we are going to replace sending unit eventually because, like I said, the gas gauge doesn't work. And I do have the new one. So I say let's take a look. I did open this up earlier, mounted the bracket on the frame already. It just is probably a little too close to a brake line with the axle going up and down. So you get to see the bracket up there, and that I'm going to try and move that bracket because what I did was tried to find a hole I could mount that bracket with that doesn't require me drilling into the body of the car or the trunk or anything like that to, mount that thing up there. I just made a kind of a slip bracket. Basically, there's a hole up there, and I made a bracket that just slips in there, and goes to the side and then mounts and clamps tight. But like I said, I need to move it back a little bit. So hopefully my little contraption I did back there, I can repeat. I always say if I did it once, I can do it again. And that's usually the scenario with every piece of this car, any car, where it's like, do it 2 or 3 times. Why not? Let's get started. So I'm hoping I can just loosen this a little bit. Got a lock washer and a nut on the other side. Oop, that's tightened. Duh. It's probably not going to loosen now. It's in there forever. I forgot to hit record, but the impact works every time. So now I can slide that back there and hope that I can now let's see if we have room there. Gosh, it still looks like it's really close. Like right in between here and here. I mean, not that this is going to travel that far, but I don't know. Yeah, let's see if we can do that one more time. Let's go this way. Love impact wrenches. I never used to have those, and now I know why people do. All right, I think we have enough room there now. So we just basically made it flow with the frame here. Looks pretty good. I like it. So now we're going to take this whole thing apart. Fuel's going to go everywhere, and I'm going to smell like gas for 3 days. All right, so now it's time to make a mess. Because the gas tank has about 7 gallons in it. Because I did put it back in, trying to make it do its thing, but it didn't want to play well. So here we are. Okay. Got that plugged off. Oh boy, it's flowing pretty good out of that sending unit, so I don't know. Unless there's something floating around in the tank that gets sucked up to that little sock on the end of the pickup tube. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I do have a scope with me, so I guess if we need to find out, we will. There it comes. Okay. Success. All right. Well, now we're going to smell like gas for days and days and days, and this will evaporate, and we'll move on to the next part. So much fun. Well, I know in this position, a lot of times my head's cut off. You don't need to see this face, right? Anyhow, take a look at all the stuff we have here. Got a Ford fuel filter. So this thing's going to be filtered like 3 times because I'm still going to try and keep that clear one on the back, just so I can see if it's flowing. Of course, the car not running, if it doesn't run, pretty obvious it's not flowing. But still, just like to have that for peace of mind, or I don't know, just because I do. So yeah, looking at setting this thing up. We'll get the wrench for this. Well, there you have it. Air cleaner. 15/16. Some of you may have knew that because you've used this thing. I know we all have at some point. So get this filter set up on there on the hood / workbench. You guys have used these, right? And you've had them fail on you a million times. I had a truck once that would run out of gas, so I finally put on a electric fuel pump like this. It was a big 460 Ford F-250, and then it still wouldn't run afterwards. Thought the brain box went out, and just turns out that the truck was sitting on a slant, and whenever the gas was under a quarter tank, the pickup tube wouldn't pick up fuel. I was out there buying fuel pumps and brain boxes and Lord knows whatever else. Holy smokes. And it just turned out it was sitting on a slant. Little Uncle Wiggly trying to get in here, but right up here, right there, is a body ground that I could use. Yeah, we'll see about making that work. Gotta love, tight spaces, right? Very little room down there. That's pretty squished on there. All right. Still clear of the fuel line. Got the inlet. Little jiggly. Little jiggly. So before we get all those fuel lines in there, I say we hook up the ground and then try and ground it up there. I think that'll be the best. Oh, I forgot that I was going to show you, like, there's this clear shot right to that filter being angled like that. So as you can see by where my 3/8 socket is sitting on that ratchet, that's that little body ground that's actually the fuel line. So I'm going to remove that so I don't have to drill any holes in the body or ground it, over here to this thing, which I mean I could do, but I'd rather find ourselves a good ground here. A little dribble of fuel. Let's promote some more rust and scratch this up a little bit. Oh, fits perfect actually. Good and snug. Looking pretty good. We'll wire tie that up. Almost like we're going to do it and leave it. Like it's going to be a success story. So, we have a hodgepodge of fuel line here. So, this is of course my old setup coming from the gas tank to the fuel line. This is what's left of blowing the air through the fuel line up at the fuel pump. Because we had cut a hole in it to draw the air in, and now I've got a couple, 5-inch pieces. And then I've got 2 little ones that came with the pump with all these clamps and whatnot. So, yeah, we'll try and make something work out of all that and get these 2, that and that, hooked up. Oh, and that right there hooked up. So, yeah, this will be fun. See what we can make up. I think we're set. So we got the second line hooked up. So outlet, still got a filter on there, so it's filtered 3 times. Not that I need that, it's just the way it is. There's one on the pump, there's one here, and one on the carb. So the only thing I don't like is that it rests against the tank, but that's pretty thick plastic right there, so I'm actually not too worried about that. I just don't have lines rubbing on anything, so when you look at the full setup, it's there. It's pretty stable, I mean, it's got a little wiggle to it, but not bad. Like I said, our after pump line up here is all attached to the vent tube line, so that's all good to go. So I think we're going to wrap this up and figure out how to run the electrical. And we'll just do it temporarily for now, but we'll probably put it on a switch. So, all right. We'll get some more done. So I just wanted to show you all this. This set of tools right here was a foldable case that broke. I bought this stuff in like 1992 when Kmart was still a thing. Stanley brand. It's been the best set of ratchets and sockets that I've had. Carried them around for, I don't know how many years is that, 30, 40, whatever. And I've never lost anything. So yeah, there's some stuff out of it because I'm using it right now. But I've had that set of tools so long. It's the best set of tools I've ever had. Never broken them or nothing. And I always use them on the rebuild part. So these are my clean tools versus my dirty tools, junkyard tools, greasy tools. All the greasy stuff is done with that. All the clean stuff is done with that. I don't know. It's just how I operate, I guess. But the reason why I bring that up is I've had these cars for so long that with all the vacuum line issues and things like that, I've had all of this stuff, vacuum tees, switches, fuel pump switches, vacuum block offs. I mean, I think I've had those for just as long. Here I am still using them. I only bought them one time, a big old pack, one time. And here I am still using them. I don't know, just thought I'd throw that in there. Well, we're actually inside the car now because we got to power this thing up, and I was just going to jerry wire it, but I think I'm going to keep it. So no matter what, like, it'll just be a good backup. So I'm going to go ahead and hardwire this thing in, and taking a look underneath this dash, we have this little baby right here. If you remember, we had a cruise control unit in here that I took out, and this is the power for it. So when I checked this thing, nothing lighting up. But when we get the keys in here, oh, if I can get the key in there, we go. Turn the ignition on. Boom. We got us some power. So I've got myself a fusible link, which, I mean, that's part of one. Yeah, that's part of one, but they don't match up. So I'm going to cut that off and wire this one in there, and then set it up to a switch that I have right here. And this little baby goes over here, like so, right there next to where the cover for the fuse panel is. So yeah, that hole was already there. So they had a switch wired in here for some reason and took it out, because you can basically see the holes there. They were already there. So somebody had something in here at some point, but we're just going to make use of that and call it good and make that our hot. So we'll just hardwire it through the car somehow and get that sorted out. Making headway. Almost there. Well, we have all of our electrical stuff sprawled out because we're going to go ahead and just wire this thing in like it's meant to be. Mainly because it'll just be a good backup. You know, why not? Vapor lock in, or the fuel pump goes out, whatever it is, who knows? We might even delete the fuel pump itself, the manual one, put a cap on it, call it good, who knows? I don't know, but I know I was informed by the wife that I have 40 minutes until lunch. So I guess we better get started. All right, well, now it's time to just start wiring this thing up for sound and hopefully get that thing ran to the front. I'm praying I have enough wire, but we're going to crawl into this and get it ran. Okay, so all we got to do, it's so spacious in this garage. Work. We can do this, right? I really get into my work here. Just on the other side now. Where'd that go? Okay, well, you know, make stuff. Oh, we're halfway there. Wire tie this stuff up. Keep running stuff. Oh, yeah, we made it this far. Let's just run these wires and trying to. Could be the home stretch soon. Right. Oh, fit. Where that went. But anyhow, hang on. Where it goes. Well, we got our main power wire ran pretty much down the whole car up until the switch, but we have it running through this little hole down there, right there. You can see the wire coming out right there, running that way, underneath the carpet, around the kick panel, all the way. It made it to the brake pedal, the emergency brake pedal, but that ain't far enough. Oh well, I guess we'll just patch it in. That's the way it goes. We got our main power wire here that's wired into one of those stupid connectors. But you know what? We're just going to leave that because it's going to work. So we're going to continue to wire this thing in and make this thing work. Okay. Well, we got everything plumbed up, wired up, and switched up. So we should take a look at what we got inside and fire this thing up. It is so hot out here right now, but we've got the new filter on here, got the new fuel pump on, of course, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. So we'll jump in this thing, show you what we got going on. All right, we got a little doohickey switch there. Don't know if that's on or off at the moment, but we'll find out. So let's fire this baby up and see what happens. Turn the old switch on. Yep, I can hear it working. It's trying to do something. Let's go see if it's pumping fuel. Well, we got it fired up, and it's definitely pumping fuel. We might have it licked. Oh, yeah, it's good news. So as long as that filter stays full, looks like it's doing pretty good. Boy, and that thing isn't even loud. I thought that thing would be super loud, but just not. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's just doing a little bit of fuel here and there. Fills up, pulls some more, goes down, it pulls some more. I imagine that's the way it's supposed to work. I mean, I figured it would have just been like 3/4 full all the time. Well, that pretty much wraps this one up. Had a lot more success with the electric fuel pump than we did the manual one. They're both running in unison now, so I just don't think it's enough, though. It seems like that filter should be a little more full of pulling fuel from the tank. You know, it seems like there's really something up with that sending unit, but I will say this did make it run, and I'm going to leave that on there, whether we do a manual, mechanical one, or whatever. I mean, it's a great backup, or we just use it as a primary. One or the other. Time will tell. So I guess we call this one done. And then after that, I guess we're just going to have to go ahead and address the sending unit, which is right here. So that's coming up next. Thanks for joining. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you like what you saw, click like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for joining Never Ending Cars and taking that never ending ride.